inevitable.
Alright, the Khaos List. Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Alright, Nzo, here we go. Take N and Z, then throw in a O. Nzo's the name, and this is the show. It don't matter what the haters say, cause everybody knows at the end of the day, the Khaos List comes on Tuesday nights. Describe it in word, dynamite. He brings fire to all the masses. He rocks a hoodie, a snapback, and a pair of glasses. Khaos List, the second show of the week. Questions so fire that they make you speak about issues that are universal. We talk about shit that's controversial. Sit back, chill, enjoy the show. His crew is ready. And here's Nzo. Peace. Woo! Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Khaos List. Do not miss this. I'm gonna say that one more time. Do not miss this. Peace.
Is there any stuff?
Yo, what is up? What is going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Khaos List. We went on a little hiatus, but we are back. We are back. Got the crew in the house. May have some special guests later on. We don't know, but if we do, good. If not, we're just going to keep it pushing. Danny, talk to the people. Tell them about your channel, sir.
Oh, I am Mr. Graham, a.k.a. Comic Chat. You can find me on Monday nights. Last night, my show was a late edition. I've never gone that late. Pretty good. I've had a pretty good vibe going to it. Might do that every now and then. But try to talk about all kind of pop culture stuff, DCEU stuff. Last night we talked about Rock getting booed, talk about why there ain't a damn Man of Steel 2 and other things. But yeah, looking forward to tonight.
Absolutely. Next up, Mr. Chris Knight. Talk to the people, sir.
What's going on? Just doing some stuff, trying to get ready for tomorrow night. I know I have at least one question here that is going to spark some really interesting conversation. It's an Nzo topic. That's what I would call it. It's literally like one of those, oh shit, you didn't just ask that. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have it on there. I think it'll have to be a good conversation.
I don't like them questions.
And that's why Nzo and I like them.
I'm gonna eat it up. I
think it'll be really good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who's winning the fact and the fiction? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, no, I feel
that
you.
One.
I feel you.
That one.
But
although I got some good facts and fictions coming up for tomorrow night.
But who won the first debate? I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. If we do the debate again, which tomorrow night we will not be doing the debate, but when we come back to do the debate, it's going to be so that's like the third option of what we're going to be doing. So there's the 3 doors that we all just discussed the normal way. I will eventually bring back.
I thought it was a tie.
Well, technically, yeah, it was a tie, but when Chris did the last vote, no. When Chris did the last vote, I had one, and I was just like, nah, it's a tie. I'm just saying.
But you're gonna win with 2 against 1.
So, what we're gonna do next time we do bring back the debate, it'll be you two first, then it'll be me against whoever loses the first debate. And then whoever wins the second debate goes on, and the final 2 will go. And whoever wins that whole thing, we're gonna put a notch on the board. We're gonna have another competition thing. But the whole debate thing will not be a regular thing. I'm just trying to come up with different ways to do the show. So we have the wheel, which will come back, the 3 doors, and then the 3 doors with debate. So just trying to spice things up. But tomorrow
we're gonna do the chase again, or that was too much for y'all?
I don't know. I gotta talk to Shadowhunter. That was his deal. Right now, I'm just trying to get the Rumble back up and running, but I think we will do that. So, all right.
Got you, Eli. Who? You're up.
Hey, weirdos and fellow weirdos. I'm Eli Who. I got a science show on YouTube, which I'm not sure I'm going to do tomorrow, but not because I'm pausing my little slideshow program. So If I do have my show, it'll be 12 noon Pacific time. It's about science, astronomy, exoplanets, the stuff you look up in the night sky and you go, what the hell is that? Stuff you learn on my channel. And also tomorrow evening on Honourable Mentions, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to have a little pre-show, and hopefully we can have our special guest. I have not got a confirmation on my phone yet, so I can't tell you who it is. But he is guaranteed to be on the channel, but no confirmation yet tomorrow. But I will let people know if he will be there tomorrow night or not.
There you go. What up to the people?
Science fiction legends.
There you go. What up to the chat? Shifty Gizm, Mew1, Tony Robinson, G Major, K Dot, Drop Shop. Who else? Tuckerverse. Thank you very much, guys, for popping in. Much appreciated. And you know how we do with the show. We got 3 topics. We have the honorable mentions, and these guys are off the hook because no, I do have an honorable mention.
I saw that pop up.
Yeah, I know. I tried to pop it up there quick, but honorable mention number 1. Since it's been months since the Rumble has had a new episode, don't you think Chris Knight should just cancel the show and let Enzo be the first and best ground champion ever?
As a 7-time consecutive loser, I say, hell no, I want another shot at it, man.
I'm saying it don't make no sense. You know what I mean? You might as well just shut it down because you had the best.
And Chris is pulling a JJ. He's pulling a JJ. We can't hear you, dude.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
There you go.
Okay, but Elihu, I mean, honestly, Enzo might have a point here. He's scared of other competition, so maybe I should just cancel it.
That's it. You said it yourself. Scared. He's scared.
Just saying.
So,
I mean, if he's scared, I'll cancel it now. You can just take it and
don't
run.
fall in, man. Come on. I need a rebuttal. Come on. I need a chance to get a one redemption.
I don't know how a champion could be scared. Like, I came, I saw, and I kicked some ass. You know what I mean?
But you just don't seem to want to wait for the opportunity to go against. See, I think I'm only going to get 4 people. When I get 4 of them, I'm going to put the 4 of you together. And that's how it is. So you only got 2 more to get.
Hey, I would have won a couple of them.
That started here very soon.
I would have won a couple of them, but I had shit internet back then, so.
And Danny would have won one, but he was robbed, so we ain't talking about that one, right?
Not even bringing it up. Not even in this discussion.
Not a problem. And honorable mention number 2. And I just can't have an honorable mention without mentioning the actual person who the honorable mentions were started for.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Honorable mention number 2. Do you think Danny needs to do more research before talking about an article that came out more than 5 years ago?
What article was that?
The Star Wars one yesterday?
I don't know when that shit came out. Like I told y'all. I happened on that shit. I have no idea.
Nah, just mess with you. It was funny. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. And that's it for the honorable mentions. So we will get into the topics, y'all. And let me see what I have. Topic number 1. This is something a little bit y'all can sink your teeth into. I don't know if you heard it. I tried to find the actual article that I seen. I couldn't find it. So it gave me pause to wonder if it's like meh. But so far, and we're supposed to have this last week when we had the show because that's when I seen it. But Slave Leia censored on Return of the Jedi merchandise. So the depiction of Princess Leia in her slave outfit as featured in the forefront of the iconic theatrical poster for Return of the Jedi has been censored on a new piece of licensed Star Wars merch. Now, do you guys think that this is like what are your thoughts on this? Like, why would they do that? You can see the picture, right? So what they basically did, and check it out because you got Slave Leia from Return of the Jedi, but in the next one you got Hoth Leia from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that's just somebody that's crazy. I mean, slave. I guess for back then that you call it prerogative, but the stuff we see now shows like P-Valley and it's crazy to me. That is very tame compared on some of the stuff we seeing now.
Oh wait, you actually watch P-Valley, Danny?
No, but I've seen people at my work talking about it and try to get me to. But I'm like, stuff I hear like that, stuff I've seen on Sons of Anarchy, which I watch every episode. Things I've seen on Power. That is so tame compared to stuff that we're seeing now. So the fact they want to change that, I don't know who's doing that. Somebody that's silenced with Kathleen Kennedy shit or something. I don't know.
Chris, what do you think?
It's stupid. I don't know. The white boy term. It's stupid. It's like, I don't know. It's like anyways, again, this goes back to, every time we think Disney kind of takes a step forward. We're going to say Disney because, let's admit it, there's still just a Lucasfilm decision. They wouldn't have changed it. So every time Disney takes a step forward, here they're going to do like an R-rated movie or something, because we just got confirmation. I think the Blade's going to be R-rated now. I think. Yeah, and then not Daredevil, but oh shoot! What? Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool. Thank you. Yeah. Deadpool's going to be rated R. So we're like, okay, so they're willing to do rated R, and then they go to something like this, and it's like, okay, again, separate yourself. Star Wars doesn't need to be censored because Star Wars never needed to be censored. Our parents took us to this in the 80s. If they were, so what are you trying to say? And then, again, don't even start on continuity by putting the wrong Leia in the wrong picture. It's like, if you're going to do it, she's wearing the, the jungle gear or the forest gear. Put that on there. If you're going to do it right. I mean, okay. So, it's like, okay, is there a point to it? No, but if you're going to do it, at least try to make it make sense. Instead of every known Star Wars fan in the history of Star Wars fans is going to look at it like, why did they put the Empire Strikes Back Leia on the Return of the Jedi cover? So yeah, stupid. Just
I guess now in Attack of Clones when Padme had that midriff, they'll cover that up or something.
Oh, absolutely.
That's crazy. You gotta realize.
Oh, go ahead, Danny.
You gotta realize a little bit of sexiness sells because your target audience, correct me if I'm wrong, is males. Star Wars.
Facts. Eli, you go, and then I'm gonna get to Shifty Gizm's comments.
Okay.
Shit, something in my eye.
Yeah, it's called your eyeball. People have no problem when we see Hugh Jackman's ass. People have no problem when we see Jensen Ackles' ass. People have a problem when the actual skin on the woman gets shown. Like, oh no, we're sexualizing people now. What the fuck is your problem? The first thing I saw on Twitter when I saw Ban Leia was trending, I'm like, what the hell is Ban Leia for? People sexualizing Leia, they replace her outfit, I'm like, shit, come on. Who gives a rat's ass? Like Chris said, our parents took us to the movies. Kids are dressing up. Girls are dressing up as that slave Leia during Halloween. Parents didn't have a problem with that. Come on. What the hell is wrong with people nowadays? It's not really about the image being swapped from the different movies. It's about Leia being sexualized. Like, okay, we got a sexualized woman here. We got to stop this. Who gives a fuck?
Wait a minute here. I'm going to add one more thing to this. I mean, we've all seen Aladdin, right? Wasn't Jasmine basically dressed in the same fucking shit? I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, I'm not trying to, like, go all weird and talk about a cartoon, but it was that type of a dress. And it's like, you're only making it the issue and the problem because you made it an issue and problem. It wasn't an issue and a problem before. You're looking for problems that don't need to be answered. I mean, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the term.
Exactly. It's like what they did with Slave One. Slave One. You know what I mean? Now they actually changed her name. She's not Slave Leia anymore. It's something else they said, right? So they changed that too. And I'm just like,
she's in a slave outfit.
Because I mean, we were kids, right? I enjoyed it. It wasn't sexualization to me or anything like that. But Shifty Gizm said it's not crazy. Even Fisher had an issue with Slave Leia. Plus, the era of empowerment over sexualization. Remember, this is for kids, folks. It was for kids when we were growing up. and there wasn't an issue. You see, this is the day and age where it's like these kids are soft. You know what I mean? Like
God,
everybody's sensitive.
I
What?
wish I wish I could play the clip I got down for that statement. I can't give it to you. God, that was so cool.
You know what I'm saying? Donnie, go ahead. You have something to say about it? Go ahead.
No, I don't have the clip. I get it. I can't give it to you or share it with you. But boy, it would fit so perfect for this. I can't wait till I can use it on somebody.
I just think it's dumb, man. You know what I mean? Let it be the way it was. Nobody complained that it was called Slave One. Nobody complained that it was Slave Leia. You know what I mean? It was like it was a white woman. Maybe if it was a black woman, might have been a little bit different, right? No, I'm just saying, might have been a little bit different, but it was
So
a white person.
they'll look at what's her name in Obi-Wan? Rhea?
Riva.
Oh, her suit was too tight. You gotta change it. Her ass,
you know what I'm saying?
On one scene, her ass poked out too much.
And I enjoyed that scene, to be honest.
Yeah, blue armor.
I didn't see that, but that's what somebody had come and said, "Oh, you see the scene when she did this? Her ass was too tight." That's kind of. They did this in the '60s with Burt Ward, played Robin. He had to like wear a cup or do something because they said this jump was too. I'm serious. They were like, we're gonna shoot at a different angle. I think he had to wear something to kind of hold it down, or it was crazy.
Yeah, but you gotta remember in X-Files, David Duchovny was a famous scene, David Duchovny laying on the bed in his underwear, and you can really see why he was wearing baggy clothes all the time, because it was barely holding into his underwear. And to reminisce what Gary Shandling said, how do you dress? He goes, mostly to the left.
That's too
that's too much for real. Like I'm like, I mean,
this was TV. They showed this shit on TV.
Well, here, this is what
for a man to have.
This is what Carrie Fisher said for Scott when they were talking about this back in the day about removing the merchandise. She said,
I want to hear what she got to say. I guarantee she ain't took the damn. She didn't refuse the check.
Okay, listen. This is what she said. She says, "I think that's stupid." Talking about removing the merchandise, and then I guess there was some father that flipped out, and it says, "To the father who flipped out about it, why? What am I going to tell my kid about why she's in that outfit? Tell him that a giant slug captured me and forced me to wear that stupid outfit, and then I killed him because I didn't like it, and he took it off backstage." And then, hold on. And then she goes further. She says, "How about telling your daughter that the character is wearing that outfit not because she's chosen to wear it, she's forced to wear it. She's a prisoner of a giant testicle who has a lot of saliva going on, and she does not want to wear that thing. And it's ultimately that chain, which you're now indicating is some sort of S&M gimmick, that actually I used to kill the giant testicle." That's what she said. So she's basically saying, you're saying it's like S&M shit, like she was into it. And she's saying, liberation. Fuck that shit. That's what liberated me, was that chain. That's what it was. It was my way out, and all that. So I think she's got the right idea. You're going at it from this wrong angle.
Also, you never see her dress anything remotely like that in the rest of the whole series of the story. Yeah. Now, if they would have kept her something dressing provocative, okay, I might can see, okay. But that's the one thing, and it made sense in the story at that particular time. It wasn't something that was forced like other stuff we see now that is being forced in our throats. That wasn't forced in our throats. It made sense in the story. After she got rid of Jabba, she went back to her normal way of dressing. Case closed.
Absolutely. It needs to stop being butthurt over all this stuff. But she thinks I said Disney Lucas were right in this instinct. This was a more sensible decision than all the changes made to the original trilogy. What? Why though? Like, hey man, to each his own. I wanted them to keep it the way it was. You know what I mean? I wasn't offended by it. And this is the thing, right? Especially the slave stuff, right? Who's deciding that it's offensive to us? You know what I mean? Is it a bunch of white people sitting in a boardroom saying, "Hey man, we slave one, we can't use that anymore because it's sensitive to black people"? Or is it one black guy in there and or a black woman in there saying, "Hey, you know what? they call it Slave One. I'm a little bit sensitive to that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never heard anybody complain about Slave One being named Slave One.
Also,
Or
I did not
Slave
know
Leia.
any black person who speaks for every black person. I did not know every one Hispanic person who speaks for every Hispanic people. I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. I know. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Who decided for us? What is offensive and what is not? I find it. If you find it offensive, fine. Don't buy it. Don't look at the merchandise. Ignore it.
Facts.
Don't watch the TV
Facts.
show if you don't like that. Don't watch that movie.
Facts, 100%. Matt said there's a lot of stuff from the 80s, even though it's love, don't hold up. I guess you could say that, but I'm not the one to sit there and say I can't watch Delirious anymore because of some of the jokes that Eddie Murphy said. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. You know, it was funny then. I'm sorry, but it's still funny now. When I watch it, I still laugh at the jokes, right? And again, like I said, for me, it's just jokes, right? You don't take it seriously. So I don't know. It depends on what it is we're talking about that doesn't hold up. Because I do get it was a different time, but at the same time, for me, I'm just not. Oh my God, I can't watch that because they said the N word so many times, or they did this so many times. You know what I mean?
Don't watch Friday.
Yeah. Go ahead, Danny.
I watched Def Comedy's Jam 25th reunion.
Yeah.
And it was like Steve Harvey, Cedric Entertainer, Dave Chappelle. I can't think of the female name, but Chappelle
Simone,
was so.
I think it was.
It was Simone.
I think it was Simone. Yeah.
No, it's the heavyset black lady that keep making jokes about herself. But
okay, yeah.
Chappelle was so much. I just think he took over as a king of comedy, bro. That sucker's on a whole different level, man. To me,
so?
I think so, bro. Man, his shit. He did improv, him and D.L. Hughley, like in the middle of the show, and man, he was killing it. I mean, I just think he is the GOAT. I do, man.
To me, he's you see, for me, his jokes are like the last couple comedy shows he did. They just didn't hit for me because it's more like commentary than jokes to me. And I just
shit is very smart, man. When you see how he put that shit together, like
smart.
How the hell he come up with that shit? I think that shit is funny. Cat Williams was one of my favorite too. He in my top 5.
Cat Williams up there too. Slave Leia has become a fanboy's wet dream at cosplay convention. It sets up a bad message for young girls. And like I said, Fisher was vocal for years how she wasn't comfortable about how she was sexualized.
Well, listen,
Go ahead.
Leia said, or Carrie Fisher said she didn't want to be in it. She said she felt she definitely was worried about how she looked in it. She said she had to lose a lot of weight to get to it. And she was self-conscious about it. As the years went on, though, Carrie Fisher was very vocal in saying, listen, she understood the point of it. And like I just read right there, those were her words that she said, listen, it's asinine to say, let's take it off because you guys are putting a stereotype on it or an image on it, like S&M, because it's a chain, a woman in a bikini and all that. You're giving the wrong idea. The point is you say, listen, my character was put in a horrible position, and ultimately it was my character who broke away from that position. Even though Luke was trying to save the world in that thing, Luke gets captured, Han is captured, Leia's still there. Who kills Jabba the Hutt? It's Leia. Leia frees herself, and she gets herself out of that position. And the only time that Luke is even near her, it's to tell her to turn the gun around to blow up the ship, and then they go off of the ship. That's the only thing Luke does for her. She's doing everything, and she, like I said, even in that comment, she said that outfit is a symbol of a woman who takes things into her own hands because she doesn't like it. She doesn't like that she's like that. She does. So I'm not saying it's empowering per se, but if you explain it in the way that she does, saying, listen, she doesn't want to wear that, and watch what she does because she doesn't want to be there like that. And she kills Jabba. I mean,
and you want to talk about like cosplay and wet dream, What about all those anime costumes that are there? You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
Like
God.
those things are even worse than Slave Leia.
Especially that vampire. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
She don't
Oh,
wear
God.
nothing.
Ooh, I love Vampire G.
Exactly my point. So it's like to sit there and complain about that when you have all those other cosplay type of things and shit. It's weird to me. It really is. But hey, man, teach his own. Unit, in my opinion, not worth getting bent about. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really bent about it. I'm just like, I just think,
I really don't care. I'm ready for the
Yeah.
next
Okay.
category.
Wait,
What I'm
yeah,
scared
but
to
really
myself.
quick.
Yeah, it's
What
coming.
did I say? What did I say though? I said, really, the bigger point here isn't if you did it or didn't do it. If you're going to do it, put some effort behind it, showing that you're trying at least, and put the right Leia on there and put her Andor outfit on the cover.
So that's what
How
I know
about
where I'm
that?
coming
That's
from.
what I'm saying. That's all you should have done.
Damn, Eli.
Absolutely. Chris, check the private chat.
I think he did. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, give me
We have
something.
we have the next topic coming up here. That was a great one. I think I personally like I said, I don't care. But I think if you're gonna change it, at least do it right. You know what I mean? Don't put Hoth Leia on Return of the Jedi. Like, come on now. That doesn't make no sense whatsoever. I think that was a huge mistake.
It's like putting Palpatine on the A New Hope poster.
Right. And again, what up, Big O Show? Thanks for popping in. There's a few that I didn't say hi to. Big Brow,
Wow.
Matt's Mama Bear. You know, has any of you guys seen the Andor trailer?
I have not
No,
seen
I have not yet.
the Andor trailer.
What up, Mark? What's going on, man?
What's up,
In
Hondos?
the house, man.
What's going on?
Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Been grinding all day, man. I tell you.
It's all
Making
good.
that money.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
Someone says grinding. I think they're grinding the weed. I'm like, oh, okay. Never
No. Grinding, hustling.
Only in your mind, Eli. Only in your mind.
You know what I mean?
So did
nothing up here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it right now.
Yeah. First, let me ask Mark. Did you hear the first topic? We're talking about the changing slave Leia on the merchandise for Star Wars.
Yeah. I didn't hear it, but yeah, I've heard of it. I know that it's going on, and I mean, it just goes to show you how lame this generation is right here. You know, we've had slave Leia now for what, something like 30 years, over 30 years.
Yeah.
And
83, so almost 40.
Almost 40 years, and we have to be the generation to decide that, oh, it's just too offensive. We just can't do it. I mean, it's embarrassing, man. Like, what exactly is the issue? Is it that she's slave Leia, or is it the outfit?
I think it's the outfit, but they did change her name. She's not slave Leia anymore.
Yeah, just like they changed Boba Fett's ship. It's not slave one anymore.
Right? Yeah.
So it's whatever.
Yeah.
So they're afraid of the word slave.
Sounds like
I guess, but I'm like who are you to like decide that for us? Like, we didn't care.
Well,
you know,
I'd rather keep slave and get rid of the other word that makes me turn to the Hulk.
Which one?
I hear you.
Which one?
Here's the thing, though. Jabba the Hutt kept slaves. Jabba the Hutt was not politically correct. You know what I mean? So it's like you're taking our sensibilities in the real world and not applying it, or you are applying it to this galaxy far, far away. They did have slaves, you know? I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, the biggest bad guy in the galaxy, Darth Vader, was a slave at one time.
Wait, that's actually a good question, Mark. Is this actually about the sexuality of it, sexualization, or the word slave? Yeah, that's actually a good question, man. Because
well, I mean, you think of Stargate and anything Egyptian related. Egyptians had slaves. It's shown in those movies. It's shown in Stargate, because all of those people you see in the Stargate movie were slaves, because they were slaves to Ra or whatever the god was. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, I have no clue. They're in it.
Because if it's about sexualization, you guys remember a show called Baywatch?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, a lot of guys sexualized that. Come on.
Yeah.
And it was highly known that it was being sexualized on the women, but yet it still continued to air. That's why I say it's a good
Yeah.
question. Is it about the sexualization of Carrie Fisher or the name slave? So
I think it's more that word.
Well, if it's about slave and slavery, I mean, there are some cultures where they call those people slaves, and they truly were employees. You know what I mean? So it's not, we might be thinking of the American culture and, slavery here and everything. It was, all types of inhuman and stuff. But there are other places like in Muslim culture where they talk about the treatment of your slaves, which really meant your employees, those people who were working for you. Because I can tell you, I wish that I had gotten off from work probably about 3 hours ago, but I was not allowed to go. We have this thing called mandatory overtime. I wanted to leave. You know what I mean? It wasn't my choice. At that moment, I was enslaved. So let's not get it twisted. So it's just a fact of life, is all I'm saying.
It's crazy, man. And at the same time, like I said, man, we grew up with that. We never complained. What's up? I never heard anybody complain about the Slave One or the Leia ship. I remember getting the Boba Fett ship, had the big Slave One on the side of the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
again, it goes back to the whole Slave One thing. Is R2D2 came from real, like, I don't know. It was the real this, real two. And it was about a reel for when they were doing editing and stuff in their room, and that's where he came up with the name. It was a reference number for what he was calling for.
Real 2, Disc 2.
Yeah, that's it. Real 2, Disc 2, R2D2. And here's the thing, though. Slave One, to me, when I learned that type of stuff about Star Wars, Slave One meant to me that he was referring to something like on a computer you have a master drive, and then any other drive hooked up to the master drive is the slave drive. And yes, I understand that it came from the term of master, slave, and all that, but it's kind of it's a secondary ship. So maybe that refers to how you would answer it, is show that at one time Boba Fett had a first ship and it was called something else, and then he had to go to what he would have considered a lesser ship or a secondary ship, and that was just called Slave One. Like he may have had it, maybe it was part of a group at one time that had Slave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever. I don't know. I mean, you could answer it without taking it away. They just don't have the mental ability to give it a reasonable reason for a name. They can't think of a way of explaining it to people instead of just saying, we're not going to talk about it, we're going to change everything, which makes more people go like, why are you changing it? What's wrong here? And that brings more attention to it, much like I said, putting the wrong Leia in Return of the Jedi by using the Empire Strikes Back Leia and putting her in. It's like, at least use the Andor one, and then let people are like, well, that's different. Huh. And that's all we probably would have done.
I'm sorry to say, but I think this is another empty virtue signal where they're just like, look at us, look at what we're doing for you people. But see, here's the thing. I've always said that I don't like calling people when I refer to American slavery and stuff, and we talk about the slaves. It's like I've always felt like we should call them people who were enslaved. You know what I mean? Like those were people. So what I think they're doing is they're equating slaves with black people, so we don't want to offend black people, who we equate with being slaves, so it's, I have never been enslaved. I come from a people that were enslaved, and that is part of the shame of this country. All right, even though part of the pride of this country is that we moved forward from it, we ended it, but that initial shame cannot be erased. But at the same time, to go on and continue to equate people, who look like me or, who are black with being a slave, that's problematic for me. You know what I mean? Especially when you go this far with it, where you go into a fictionalized movie or story and you start changing things 40 years after the fact, as if somehow we're offended by that now, just because of the mere word. I just think that's kind of condescending.
Yeah, I feel you. That's why I said, like, who's there deciding, like, they should be mad at this. So since they're not, we're going to take the word away. Like, you let us decide whether we should be mad at it being called Slave One or not.
sports teams. Is it that offensive to you, or is it offensive to me? Why do I have to go by your beliefs?
Absolutely. With that being said, we got the next topic, which is the Andor trailer. And I know a few guys that you seen it, Mark, yet?
I did. Yep.
Okay, you did see it, right? And I know a few haven't seen it on there, so I'm going to bring it up and we'll discuss it. See what you guys think about it. All right, Chris, you ready? Let's do it. Let me put you guys on the side.
I know they don't watch trailers. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
To steal from the Empire? To just walk in like you belong? They're so proud of themselves, so fat and satisfied. They can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house. Cassian Andor. The Empire is choking us so slowly. We're starting not to notice. What I'm asking is this. Wouldn't you rather give it all to something real? I need all the heroes I can get.
For the greater good.
Call it what you will.
Let's call it war.
There's fermenting out there, son. Pockets of fermenting. You're in my net. Are you a fish? Or are you a thief?
You're slipping.
I'm not slipping. I've just been hiding for too long.
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
This is what revolution looks like.
I'm tired of losing.
All right. Thoughts? Whoever wants to go first can go right ahead. Ready? Go ahead.
I like the look of it only because I'm kind of.
Hey, welcome to Screen.
Sorry.
Okay.
I like the look of it. It interests me in the sense that it's stuff we haven't seen yet. It's kind of their own story. I like Rogue One. Was that Maz Kanata in there?
Yes,
I think it was.
Yes, it was
Which
forced.
that could be interesting, but again, I go back to saying after finding out that this is 12 episodes, I buy more and more the more things that come out, that when the people say that they're obviously pushing their characters harder than the old school characters. Listen, 12 episodes of this, I'm not sure if that's enough. This one probably could be done in 6 episodes, and we're probably going to be through episode 7 going like, what's going on? I mean,
wasn't Forrest Whitaker in the Rogue One? That was the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Saul Guerrero.
And
Yep.
the Disney wannabes.
It lucky it has potential, but it ain't nothing that I'm really clamoring about seeing. I'll probably watch it just for the simple fact it's Star Wars. Or right now, what gets my juices flowing with Star Wars when you start seeing lightsabers and badass Sith and Jedi. Maybe we'll see that. I don't know. Right now, like I said, I'm going to give it a watch because it's Star Wars. I try to watch everything Star Wars, but it's nothing that I'm setting my alarm clock to watch.
What about you, Mark?
It looks interesting. It looks intense. It looks deep and everything. What it doesn't look is fun. You know what I mean? And honestly, something that I go to Star Wars for is fun. I think, and like I said, but keep in mind, guys, I started off by saying it looks interesting. That doesn't mean it won't be entertaining, because I know how these things can be interpreted sometimes. Oh, you just want to crap all over it. But, we're here to discuss our first impressions. So, of course, we won't know until we actually see it. But I believe George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, people like that, they were inspired by Saturday morning serials, that used to come on back in the day. Cliffhangers, swashbuckling, adventure, laughing, romance, being swept off your feet. I mean, to me, Star Wars has lost that. When you watch Star Wars: A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, sometimes you feel like you're hanging on to a roller coaster ride. Like what I just saw. Oh, 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 okay, all right. It just doesn't remind me of what Star Wars is supposed to be. That's all. We'll see. But I'm just saying, first impressions, that's how I felt.
I feel you. What about you, Eli?
Hit or miss. I mean, when Star Wars came out, George Lucas had brand new special effects technology to bring to the screen. He even adapted that into the prequels, but kind of improved and tweaked a little bit. These special effects kind of look like they're just trying to be George Lucas, trying to be ILM, but not really ILM. I think Star Wars is trying to live up the Walking Dead phenomenon because you have a universe and a branch story here, branch story here, branch story there. We got Star Wars, we got Ahsoka, we got Andor, we got Rogue One, we got the Bastard. I'm like, enough of it. Come on. Yeah, you got some new ideas and new characters finally. Thank you. But in order for me to actually enjoy this show, I want to see some character development, interaction, not just slow character build of who this guy really is, backstory. Yeah, okay, we get it already. We already saw him. We can have a few little flashbacks of memories or a hint of a story of his past or why he did this or why he did this. But what about why he's going to do this? Because this is basically a brand new character. Like Nzo said earlier, who's the one to decide which character is going to get their own show? I didn't know this guy was going to get his own show. This is a side character, man.
Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks.
I think I personally would watch a Jar Jar Binks show before I watch this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. This is a hit or miss. I'm not really interested in this show. I'm like, okay, it's a Star Wars first type show with stormtroopers. Okay, what are we going to expect now?
Let me ask you something,
Danny.
Just really, like, do you think that Andor, Mon Mothma, Saw Gerrera, do you think they're going to survive this show?
Oh no! It's going to be imperiled. Oh shit!
You know what I mean? It really, See, this I believe is the mistake that they keep on making. And believe me, guys, I know this can be entertaining. I keep saying this, but people keep pushing back on it. I know it can be entertaining, but we're supposed to be living in a critical age. It should be okay to be critical of something. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is that I feel like one of the mistakes they keep making is they don't come up with compelling, likable, original characters that you can fear for when they get put in a tight spot, and that lends to the suspense and everything. But we've already seen Andor die. We've already seen Saw Gerrera,
Mark,
yeah.
Didn't Reva did what you just said?
What was that?
Wasn't you scared for Reva or Reva, whatever? She knew.
Perhaps you missed the part when I said compelling, likable, and memorable. All right. Now, Danny, I pick my words carefully, bro.
I'm going to smoke a bowl on that one.
but I have to agree with that because there's no stakes, right? We know who's going to survive. And I personally never liked fucking Caspian from Rogue One anyways. Like, I didn't like any of the characters in that movie. So I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I don't. Saw Gerrera, I don't care. I'll watch it, like Danny said, because it's a Star Wars property, but
I hear what you're saying, Nzo, but wasn't you slightly bit interested in what Obi-Wan was doing that time after Order 66 until what we saw him on New Hope?
Before they like said they were gonna do the series? No. I've never once thought about what he was doing. I figured he was just on the planet looking over Luke. That's all I needed to know, right?
Okay.
So I never personally cared about that. But I mean, they did it. I enjoyed Obi-Wan, right? I enjoyed it, but I never really thought about it like that.
And now that we know what he's been doing, or do we feel satisfied? I mean, is this something that's gone down and in classic Star Wars history, would you say? Or is this something that could have been a throwaway? I mean, did we really need to know that?
We don't need to know Andor shit.
It wasn't necessary, but it was, like you said earlier, I'm going to use your same word, interesting. I thought it was, to me, when he went from like he didn't have his mojo to he get his mojo back, and then it didn't retcon what we thought it was going to do, because Anzo was all against it. And then he said, I kind of changed my mind because it didn't say what we thought it said in New Hope versus what we like it was going to do in the Obi-Wan series. So I was cool with the fight. I mean, could it have been better? Yeah. But like I always said, for Star Wars, you give me a good lightsaber scene, badass Sith, badass Jedi, I'm happy. I'm fun.
And I just want to just ask one question too. Why did Obi-Wan not finish Darth Vader? That's number one. Why did he walk away knowing the evil that he was going to unleash onto the galaxy? And if he didn't want to kill him, because I've heard that, he just didn't want to kill him, why couldn't he have apprehended him? Why couldn't he have taken him captive? I mean, did we not do that in the rebellion or whatever? He's a war criminal.
And I had the same argument, because at the beginning he says one of us is gonna die. It's either gonna be me or him. You know what I mean? And then you had him there, and you didn't do anything to him.
I think he was on that trail to do that till he saw his face and heard his voice. That kind of
so he connected with him. So my thing is, now, if that's the case, because I've heard it all, my thing is, if he connected with him on that level and he recognized him as Anakin, his brother, wouldn't you have wanted to free him? Like, I know if it was a loved one of mine and I love him and I know that he was being tortured by the dark side of the Force, either I would have to try to bring him back or I would have to put him out of his misery or something. I could not leave someone I love in a functioning hell. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm just not buying it, bro. I don't see how they could have met between episode 3 and 4 on that level, and he had him right there and just walked away. There had to be some type of resolution.
I still don't understand how Reva was constantly on Tatooine and Vader didn't trust her, period, from the start. And he didn't look into this other Skywalker family living on the planet. Like, wait, this is Skywalker? And it's Skywalker today. There's another Skywalker out there? Let's investigate this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, issues, Chris? Man.
Yeah, there was. I said that too, but I did enjoy the fight scene. I did enjoy the fight scene. You had any thoughts on it?
Other than the fact, I'm interested in seeing it. I don't disagree with what Mark says, though, because I personally will find it interesting. There is no real stakes in this, unless it's stakes for the Empire and how the rebellion maybe first started piercing into what we would consider the armor of the Empire. Maybe there's a little bit of like suspense or intrigue to that extent, but really most of the time, most of these movies and stuff have been from the point where you're rooting against the Empire because the rebels and those people are in perilous situations. There's nothing perilous about this because we know at the end of it, Andor will still be alive, Saw Gerrera will still be alive, and the big players in the rebellion who started the rebellion are still alive. So he made a very good point there. I mean, that's absolutely what it is. So are we watching it just to see cool graphics and cool ships and all this cool stuff? Part of that for me, yeah, because I love it when they do expand the universe. But again, they could have picked a different way to do it that had some stakes to it.
Can I just point out too?
Sure.
I don't know. Does anybody here watch the Orville?
Yes, love it.
I do.
I'm an Orvillian.
Okay. Now that last episode, I forget what it was called, but yeah, that last episode, Domino. Yes.
Domino. Sorry.
That is how you spend an episode, right? That's how. I mean, it was so lively. It was so fun. It's so much fun, but at the same time, the stakes were very high. There was a lot of deep stuff going on. And watching that, you literally had to like feel for those characters that you come to love. In their new characters, obviously you don't know who's going to make it, as we found out by the end of it, but it was deep, man. That's the way you engage your audience. Like I know, different. It's a different story. Okay, so obviously they could tell a different story, and that story could be great. Not everything has to be upbeat and lively. I love the X Files. The X Files wasn't upbeat and lively, but I'm just saying, Star Wars is kind of like that. So we'll see. But I just like what they did with the Orville. The music is so John Williams inspired. If you're watching it, and I'm just like they could take some notes from that.
I think he did a lot of studying on Gene Roddenberry. We were talking about this last night. Gene Roddenberry was, to me, kind of like pre-Kevin. Well, he was pre, but he's like what Kevin Feige gets his direction from, because he had stuff mapped out from Star Wars to Voyager. He had all that stuff mapped out, and all of the shows were good. So I agree with you. The Orville was better than I thought. At first, I was like, Seth MacFarlane, this might be kind of corny and a Family Guy, but it's actually kind of compelling, man. I'm finishing. I'm midway through season 2. So.
Oh, so you didn't see that last episode?
No, I'm up to the one where the black guy that lays the egg, he's having an affair in the holodeck or whatever.
You mean Bortus?
Yeah, Bortus.
Okay.
So you got to get to the new season, man. The new season will blow your mind. The latest season, every episode is a winner.
Yeah, it's not a comedy. It's not a comedy.
Yeah, when you see, I'm like, man, he gonna do all that Family Guy shit, and man, I really like it.
Yeah.
First season he did. I watched a couple episodes. I didn't like it, and I just never really caught up with it again. I watched the first episode of season 3, and I seen that the tone changed, but just I don't know. It's not for me. I've never been a big, really Star Trek guy anyway.
I'll tell you what I do want to see. I want to see Picard where Q comes back and helps the guard, and he's dying. I want to see that. I love Q. He's one of my favorite characters. So I might spend some money to see that.
In the Picard show?
Uh-huh.
I haven't watched season 2. I didn't like season 1.
Q's coming back, and he's dying. I think he did something. I think one of the rules on the Q continuum is you can't bring back the dead. Mm-hmm. I think he broke that rule, and it's something I don't have the gist of it, but it's somewhere in those parameters.
I like Strange New Worlds though. That one I like. With Pike, I think that one's pretty good.
What do you think of the new Kirk?
What
do you think of the new Kirk?
I don't think I got that far yet.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Mark. You were gonna say something?
Sorry.
I was just saying I've heard good things about it. I did. I mean, I tried. I really did try with Discovery. I think I jumped out after Captain, the first one, Jason Isaac. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
Something was wrong with his eyes. He could only see in the dark or some shit like that.
Yeah. Lorca, was it?
Lorca.
Like that? Yeah. I really liked his character. I liked the fact that he could have been conflicted. He could have even been a little bit dark and everything, but I didn't need for him to actually be a bad guy, Like I was hoping this was just a new take on Star Trek captains. But after a while, I don't know, it kind of lost me. And Picard did the same thing. I just liked the episodes when Riker showed up, with Troy. And I understand they're going to be getting back together, like everybody next season. Yeah. I could look forward to that. But I haven't seen Strange New Worlds. The guy who's playing Spock, he's not bad. From what I've seen, I like his presence.
Yeah. He was the same one from Discovery, right? I pretty much enjoyed Discovery. I thought it was okay. I understand why Star Trek fans didn't like Discovery. I thought it was good. But Strange New World, like it feels like Star Trek, but it feels like a real, like good mix between real Star Trek and kind of like the Kelvin universe type of thing. It's good.
They went all out on them Klingons because those are some aggressive looking suckers. But
a lot of people hated the way the Klingons looked in Discovery.
The clean knots, okay? The clean knots.
Kind of vampirish.
And now, guys, we will get on to the last topic. Oh, yeah, something to say, Donnie?
Actually, look kind of vampirish. I mean, what I say when I first look quite.
I didn't mind the look of it, but again, I can understand how people could. You know what I mean? And then there was some other thing that where they turned the human into the Klingon and stuff like that was kind of weird.
Right,
That
right.
part, yeah, that was kind of weird. But I pretty much enjoyed the show. And topic number 3, I was hoping Vader would have popped in for this one because I know, when we get into the Warner Brothers stuff. Yeah, hold on.
Holy shit. Take a very deep breath, Onzo.
Don't worry,
Holy
I'll get through it.
Whoa. When I do my rule of 3 things, I constantly am like, man, I think I'm pushing the limits of what space I have.
Wow.
What the?
Wow.
All
right.
No lie.
Everybody, let me get
no
through.
lie. No lie. Usually I fix it up and everything. I just copied and paste. I said I'm doing it lazy tonight, so I didn't copy and paste. I didn't take off anything, but here it is, man. Warner Brothers' handling of their DC movies seem to have taken another strange and almost unbelievable twist, as it has been reported from multiple sources that Batgirl has been canceled and will not be released in any form.
Thank
now,
God.
despite that, really, I heard people on Twitter saying they're disappointed about it, but I don't know, man.
About the Batgirl on the CW?
No, the Batgirl movie.
Oh,
that was
movie.
Batwoman.
Not
Yeah.
Batwoman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a Batgirl movie.
I stand corrected.
No problem. Despite the 80 million movie being complete, it has been suggested that the test screenings of the movie were so bad that a decision has been made to completely abandon the project. Now, this comes just a few days after Brandon Fraser was seen discussing his upcoming role as Firefly at GalaxyCon in Raleigh, North Carolina, making it seem a decision been some decision that has literally just been made. As many fans are still vainly hoping, there has been some very close wires. Warner Brothers' handling of their DCEU movies seem to have taken another strange and almost wait, did I just read that? Yeah, okay.
You're right.
So I that's why
I did it twice.
I did it twice. All right. So yeah, what do you guys think about the canceling of the Batgirl?
If they're going to cancel that and do a daggone Man of Steel 2, I'm all for it.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh,
Mr. Carter!
Do you remember what I said when I heard they were going to do Batgirl and Supergirl? I said, you are fucking ludicrously insane for thinking that you should take these movies and make them the flagship of your upcoming model. Mm-hmm. That Batman and Superman cannot be written out of the DC properties like that. Because if you do a Batgirl should be introduced in Batman. I am so sorry. I'm not trying to be chauvinistic in any way, shape, or form. Supergirl should be introduced in Superman. And listen, they already tried Supergirl and it flopped like a fucking dead fish. And what makes them think they're going to get it right the next time around? They need to focus on the money makers and the real things people want to go see right now and introduce the secondary characters, which I'm not being chauvinistic. They are secondary characters. They need to introduce them in these people's movies. I mean, at least the one thing that Batman and Robin got right was the fact that they introduced Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl in the movie. So at least, there was that to that movie. But you can't just do this shit. So I think this is a great decision.
But now they just wasted $80 fucking million.
I told you what I read about Hamada. If Hamada's gone, they said they're going to scrap. They are talking about scrapping the Flash movie right now, and that one's like 100 some odd million.
And isn't the guy from MCU going over there? Last name Ford or something like that?
I don't know. Right now, there's still speculation. Discovery right now is literally looking at everything, saying, "Okay, we've got this. I think they'll let Shazam 2 go. I think they'll let
Aquaman 2.
Well, Aquaman 2 is going. Black Adam, it's going to go. But this movie in particular is that. And listen, Discovery probably got wind of the bad test screenings and probably going like, okay, yeah, just listen. That's not our money. That was old. That was the old guard's money.
Yeah.
Cut it. just cut it.
It goes straight to demand. We don't go straight to video anymore, so straight to demand. Hello.
Well, if they put a hot girl in the Batgirl suit and then want to kind of spice it up, maybe call up Axel Braun. Yeah, straight to video. That's fine.
They don't want to do that though. They don't want to do that. They don't want to appeal to the male gaze. I mean, it's not that difficult. Just put somebody, like you said, put somebody hot in a suit, and have them fight the bad guys. I don't know, a lot of bending over. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of dudes would love that. But can you imagine how bad this thing must have stunk for them to say $80 million? We don't care. We are not putting this out. That says a lot, man. And I just
Mr.
wish it happened more often.
Please come back, Mr. Snyder.
Might as well.
You've been saying this for months, that it should take a damn dump truck full of money, go to Zack Snyder's house and dump on his front lawn and say, "We fucked up. Please come help us." We always said that.
Do your reshoot, please.
Because at the end of the day, they're wasting money on movies that they ain't even bringing out, right? So you might as well at least finish his shit,
Yeah, I would have loved to see how much doggone Zack Snyder Justice League was made. I wish we could test and find out just how much that movie
in the
made.
theater.
Like I said, even the way it was released, there's a way to monetarily show it. It's just the question is see, here's what's going to happen. We're still fairly new in the age of straight to streaming, but eventually, in order to show to the investors of these studios what these movies make going straight to streaming, they're going to have to come up with some sort of benchmark to show what type of money it's bringing in. So one of the ways would have been, as soon as it was announced that that Justice League was going to HBO Max, what happened to the subscribership? Did it go up? Did it go up the day of, or something like that? They're going to come up with a benchmark eventually to give us some idea of what monetarily these movies are making, because that's what it's about. Eventually, investors are going to say, "You got to tell us. You got to tell us how is this making us money?"
You're absolutely right. We want Superman. We want Batman.
Yeah.
That's what DC revolves around. You give us a strong Superman, a strong Batman character, and build around that. It's not that hard. Like you were saying, Marvel did it. They introduced all of their crappy characters through the old characters.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean,
who would have thought 20 years later or whatever it's been, that we would have been looking back on like, my God, Marvel launched their whole thing with Iron Man.
Yeah,
not Spider-Man.
Secondary character.
Spider-Man would have been like the go-to back then, because Spider-Man had shown to make money because Sony had done it. But I mean, I know they didn't have it, but then, no, it was Iron Man that did it. So yeah, can you take a crappy character or a character that's not considered the character, and can you make it into something profitable?
Was that more planning, or was that a little bit more luck?
Well,
I think it was luck.
The studio executives.
I think it was.
Sorry, Chris. The studio executives said when they were building the Marvel universe, they wanted to take 3 characters who are not primary and just boost them up, like Iron Man, Captain America, and I forgot who the third one they mentioned was. Because Captain America and Iron Man, Thor, thank you. They were all considered secondary Marvel characters. They wanted to boost these characters up. So it was
I still think that was luck. But it's also the way you tell the story and everything.
Also, guys, you have to keep in mind, they gambled on Robert Downey Jr., who is extremely likable. You know what I mean? Everyone is always rooted for him, even when he was, doing terrible.
Yeah,
and we wanted that redemption and everything, and he really came across in that role. When I saw him as Tony Stark, I was like, well, that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
But that's the same way I feel about T'Challa. I just don't think nobody gonna do what Chadwick Boseman do, and that's why I'm against recasting. But
Danny, are you trying to get me started?
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay. I don't think we have time for it.
Okay, but could you see somebody else in an Iron Man suit?
Go ahead.
You just said it.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He owned that role. The same thing with Chadwick. He owned that role. It's true. But if you're going to retire the character, you're going to retire the story. Retire the story. I just think that it's lame to do a Wakanda Forever, and you know what I mean. Given the circumstances, I do believe they should have recast. I mean, I wouldn't have just said if he was still here, I would, said, okay, well, it's time to just retire, Chadwick and everything. And, it's kind of like how I feel about Blade. I really do want to see Wesley Snipes pick it up one more time. You know what I mean?
I do too.
He's still here. He's still in shape. He's willing to do it. But if he had passed away, then go on and recast,
I just don't think Blade is as iconic as. I mean, I don't want to stir you up, so I'll be silent.
Go ahead.
No,
I don't think Blade is as iconic and did for the culture and for what Black Panther did, and that's. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Shuri being Black Panther. This particular Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Then maybe I can't think his girlfriend in the movie having a child, and then he becomes maybe T'Challa Jr. whatever, and they slide into it that way.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, because I mean, I've heard, we've all heard the leaks and stuff, so it could just go that way. You never know. We'll see.
Yeah, I was on the fence of recast T'Challa too, because I think that the what the first one did, you put T'Challa in the next one. You know what I mean? Could possibly do the same thing, if not even better.
Also, they're gonna be very selective who they pick, because.
I agree with that.
I mean, listen, for some people, Michael Keaton is their Batman. I mean, for some people, he really, really owned that. They don't see anybody else. But, you can have that discussion. You could say it was Bale. You could say it was Affleck. Yeah,
Clooney.
Yeah,
really?
No.
Clooney was an excellent Bruce Wayne, but a shitty Batman.
Clooney. No, we don't mention that. Listen, anybody that's got the fat nipples, the fat nipples are disqualifiers.
Yeah. That was terrible, bro. So unnecessary.
Mark, excuse Elihu. He's stoned out of his gourd as usual. He said
not yet, dude. Okay, not yet. That was one of my errands. I
he's
to the
building up. That was his error in building up to proper stonership.
Yes.
Siege, I want a Howard Does That sequel too, brother.
Yes. I was going to ask Danny. You have to pick one. Either a new Howard the Duck movie or series, or a Jar Jar Binks movie or series. Which one?
Jar Jar Binks.
Howard the Duck.
Wow.
Howard the Duck. That little duck can crack that guitar, man. Come on, you can rock that axe.
You guys are crazy.
Dean, shout out to Adam West. When people talk about that, they talk about Batman, they always leave him out. Adam West, for his time, for the 60s, was spot on perfect. And I'll give his Batman one thing too. His Batman is the only Batman that we've seen who really, really was able to get the whole Batman and Robin vibe. You've never seen any other Batman do that.
No.
Plus the rogue gallery of villains, everybody was spot on.
Well, I mean, one thing the 60s version of Batman had was the fact, it had the rogue gallery, it had all that stuff. But the thing about, Adam West was, I think he's commented on this and been quoted as saying, I realized it was ridiculous, but I also realized there was a bunch of kids who watched that, and I wanted to be the epitome of the hero. I wanted to be perfect as Batman. So he exuded some sort of belief that this was more real than hokey. And so, was it hokey? Sure. But he put everything he could to really exude what Batman was supposed to be about.
Boom. It was fun. What I was saying before, to bring it back full circle. Everybody just had fun watching it. But at the same time, when you were little and you watched those reruns, you can't tell me how every episode ended on a cliffhanger. Even though we knew it was fun and it was silly, you were still like, how's he gonna get out of this? You know what I mean? It's like the concrete is pouring down. Same bat time, same bat channel. You were waiting to see that, man. You know what I mean?
Mark, did you realize that in the Batman movie, when he was trying to get rid of the bomb, he actually had that part of the duck's like, there's really no place to get rid of the bomb these days.
It was great, man.
That movie was 50 times goofier than any episode I ever watched.
Yes.
Oh, that movie. You had a damn shark repellent.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh my god.
They turned the United Nations into like dust or whatever it was.
Dust.
You know what I mean?
Then when they put them back together, they had the the Spanish spoke English, the English spoke Jewish. I'm like, oh my god.
So cubes.
My question is, what do they do moving forward? If they're getting rid of the Batgirl movie, right? If they want to cancel the Flash movie, where do they go moving forward, right? We have Black Adam, Shazam, and Blue Beetle. What else? What's next for them?
I'm gonna tell you what they got to do. They got to get 3 dump trucks. One head toward Grant Gustin's house, one head towards Zack Snyder's house, and one head towards Henry Cavill, and dump it in their yard and say, "Please forgive us."
Don't forget the fourth one, Ben Affleck. You have to get Ben Affleck.
Well, I think Ben Affleck coming back to Aquaman too. So
Affleck was the ball.
I think you're already almost on board.
Yeah, me too.
I watch that money.
I watch. Well, he get his money too, but they're gonna let Zack Snyder and Ben Affleck, in my opinion, collaborate, and I think they can make something cohesive.
I agree.
Short of that, they're gonna fuck it up.
Mm-hmm. Chris,
but this Batgirl thing is embarrassing, man. No, I mean, all that money and just decide it's unreleasable. It's like I just want to see it now, just because
Me too.
Kind of like that Fantastic Four movie they said was so awful they never saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot find that shit anywhere. I done try to find
it. Okay, Danny,
for a while.
I will find. Yeah. I think I know where a copy is. I'll find one for you. Okay.
Yeah, because I seen it on YouTube for a while too. They must have took it out, but that's where I seen it. I was like, oh no.
I trust me. I can find it. Okay, I'll give it to you, Danny.
See what I mean. I will need something good to laugh at this weekend.
Okay, I'll see that tonight or tomorrow morning.
I mean, maybe they'll put it out, right? Maybe they'll just throw it out on a streaming service like that. But I mean, you just wasted fucking $80 million. Then they're thinking about canning the Flash movie. So however much that movie was, like, where do they go from here? Like Donnie said, Zack Snyder, but you got to bring these guys back now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at
least guarantee them 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of them, you get 3 movie deals, and we're gonna get a Justice League at the end. Don't fuck with Darkseid no more. Let Darkseid be the Thanos at the end. Because if they bring him in too soon, there's nobody else besides Darkseid that's really a biggie.
Brainiac.
I'm about tired of Brainiac.
I mean, yeah, you got to go back, and I said this way back. I mean, I've said this since before all this shit was even put out there, that you can't. Once you started with Superman, Batman, which again they messed up by putting Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman all in Batman versus Superman, because that should have been a standalone Batman movie, because you had Superman, Wonder Woman, then you had, or vice versa. I can't remember if Batman versus Superman came out before Wonder Woman, but you had those movies, and then you had Aquaman. Right there's your core. Flash, maybe you could have done a standalone movie, but I was okay with maybe adding a kind of where they start teaming up together, where you see, Flash and Cyborg. You could have done a little bit of them in the other movies as time went along to sprinkle in the parts of the movie you wanted to show when you got to Justice League. And Justice League probably should have been the 5th or possibly a 6th movie, because you had Shazam in there too. And that's how you build it. And again, I'm not saying they have to follow Marvel exactly, but you do follow somewhat of a Marvel pattern. We don't just show you everything at once, because by the time we were at the 2nd movie or the 3rd movie, again, I can't remember which came first. If the 2nd movie was Batman versus Superman, you already had 3 of your big heroes in it. And it's like, whoa, slow down. And that was the thing. They were trying to catch up. But you don't forget, when they made the announcement, Batgirl and Supergirl were going to be those next big movies. That was going to be like their cornerstone for this next group of movies. Yes. You don't announce that. You say, we're going to get Batman out again. We're going to get Affleck back. Or if it wasn't Affleck, find a new Batman. But Chris, Batman and Superman, those are the 2 you got to come back. And so, yes,
they made a mistake. They made a mistake casting Zachary Levi too. He's the wrong person for Shazam. I don't like him as Shazam.
I don't know about that.
He's good at Shazam. But Chris, did you forget to mention they already said they're going to introduce Supergirl in the Flash movie? So
yeah, well, they are introducing her in the Flash movie.
That's not the movie you're doing it in, because again, the Flash movie, if it's going to stand alone, has to stand alone, because it just Flash has always kind of been more standalone. it resets things. It helps. It gives you a way to reset things without actually having everybody else.
Yeah, they need to do a Flashpoint reset. Do Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck, and just go from there. That's what I would do.
I'm looking forward to seeing
something weird, man.
I would get rid of Robert Pattinson.
Something weird is happening here. Something very weird is happening here, and that's that. I'm agreeing with Danny. You know, it's something that never happened.
The world is coming to an end. The world is coming to an end. The end is nigh. The end is nigh.
We've always said the Flashpoint movie is for one of two things: you blow up what's known as the Snyderverse, or you try to reset back to the Snyderverse.
Yeah,
and again, that's what you use it for. But the problem is they're not. It almost sounded like what I've heard about the Flash movie is that they're going to kind of do both. We're going to forget about Snyderverse, but we're not going to kill it off because we're still going to use Goodall and Momoa. Which again, if you're going to do that, you can't kill off the other ones because I can't pick and choose. If you're going to have these 4 characters right now, you got to use the 4 people that you set it up with. So you can't kill them off. So they were saying we're going to kill off one of them. We're going to do this. So I still think that there's a chance the Flash movies are going to get heavily retooled or canceled outright.
Yeah, but just because you do a Flashpoint, you don't have to change everything. You just change one particular thing and still
understand that.
Keep the same form.
We'll have to see, but I still think whatever they were planning on doing, there's still going to have to be heavy rewrites in it. I really believe that.
Well, I'm saying this: if they plan to go up, right, and they plan to restore the Snyderverse, right, you have that Flashpoint movie to go back and make some changes,
retcon all this shit.
Yes, that you didn't like, retcon that, but you keep the same actors in there and you move forward. That's what Flashpoint is for.
Get rid of Shazam.
They did it in the anime, right? In animation. Right, they did Flashpoint in there, and now the universe is all reset and everything like that. So
after the Dark War,
Shazam blew it load by giving all the other kids. That shouldn't have happened in the first movie. That should happen maybe the second or third. It's something to combat Black Adam whenever Shazam and Black Adam meet. Then he does that spell and gets help. Right now, man, Black Adam will kill them kids.
The Shazam kids were introduced a long time ago.
Yeah, you know, but if you do that though, if you get rid of the kids, you get rid of Megan Good, man. I can't have that. I mean, she looked great, man.
We
gotta have that.
They don't have her in the first movie. They should have her in this movie because if they're trying to build up the Shazam versus Superman versus Black Adam, then that could have been the thing to kind of swing the tide. Because right now, as I see it now, and I could be wrong, Black Adam like he's gonna be a beast. And he'll kill them kids right now.
No, I feel what you're saying, but the more Megan Good, the better. You know what I mean?
She wear that purple Shazam suit. Now she wearing that now. I ain't mad at that at all.
They didn't change the suit, did they? They didn't change it, did they?
No, she got the purple.
They still the same colors. They just updated it a little bit with some more patterns and designs and a little bit tighter.
Gotcha.
Nice. Yeah.
Hey, man. Like I said,
I love her in Back of Boys. Whew.
What's that?
Mercy, when she's in Back of Boys. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. That was with Martin Lawrence, right?
No.
That one?
No. The one with Lawrence Fishburne was Smoke.
Oh, Biker Boys. Okay. Yeah. She's fine, man. She's fine.
Yeah. Good looking.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mess though. It's just a mess. DC, man. I don't know. They're crumbling, man. They need something. They need a win bad.
I hope they have some sort of plan. They're just not telling us yet, right? I really hope that's the case because right now it looks like they're just throwing shit at a fan.
Right now, me and Mark been riding the bus on that, but he about to get off now. What I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Stop. Pull it over. At least let him out. You don't want this guy jumping off at 50 miles an hour.
I'm telling you, I will lose my mind if Rock say if Black Adam say one of the Rock quotes in that damn movie. I will.
He does the eyebrow thing in every single one of the movies anyway. He might as well cut himself.
If he says something you smell when I'm cooking, or I'm gonna let it right now, I'm gonna be like, yes.
It's bad enough that it's bad enough that he's the Rock in pretty much everything he's in. You know what I mean? like I'm gonna need to see some type of emoting, some type of acting at some point. But
Well, how
everything
about
they
if he-
drop it, I don't care if it's Jumanji or some other kid's movie where he's wearing a ballerina outfit. He's always The Rock, always.
But man,
So we
if
don't
you
need
look
him
at Dr.
quoting
Fate and
himself
say,
too.
What was your name again? Doctor. It doesn't matter. Enlightening, distracting.
Oh.
Man, I'll be like, yes, thank you. Yeah, I just want to see it. Man. I wanna
Hey,
see it.
Mark, if you want to put your application, I might be needing a new person to sit in this chair right here.
I'll rock on solo, brother.
I tell you, this movie would be shit. And as long as Donnie gets that rock moment, he'd be like, yo, that was fire. That was fire.
I'll let you know.
See, he's going back to the days of like Arnold, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, he always had to drop that "I'll be back." You waited for that, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of that.
And Samuel Jackson, come on, say motherfucker, say motherfucker. Yes, he said.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Mace Windu say, "I'm back, motherfucker"? Oh yes. Yes.
Something tells me
I might go
by
there.
the Slave Leia edit that they're not going to be using that word.
Facts.
Just saying. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm jumping off a ledge here. But
If Samuel Jackson say that, they'll go crazy.
What about Mother Stirfherder?
No, man. Hey, listen. You just say it, but you blank it out so that we know what the fuck he said. You know what I mean? Just give us that little one. Just blank out the word.
A sound effect goes on in the background when he says the word. Yeah.
Or
at the end of Infinity
Spider-Man.
War, where he's trying to locate what's her name, Brie Larson, and he's starting to he's starting to snap out. He's like, mother, and it goes on.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
He come in behind him and play that Star Wars music. You the motherfucker that cut off my hand. Yeah, boy. Yep. Be like,
Danny has certain things that he just. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Samuel Jackson.
Certain things.
Samuel Jackson is my favorite
the whole
actor,
movie,
man.
The whole movie could be shit, but if certain things happen in it, he'd be like, "Fuck yes, it was the best fucking movie." And one of those is the whole Mace Windu comes back and says, "I'm back, motherfuckers," and shit. Yeah.
Yes.
This is what we put up with, Mark. This is what we put up with.
Hey, we all know how Donnie praises Catwoman because Halle Berry was doing the strut. Do the strut, Donnie. Do the strut.
Boy, she was sexy walking on that ledge.
There you go.
Oh, hell yeah.
One foot in front of the
other. So Halle Berry wasn't a sexy Catwoman? That what you telling me?
I did not say that.
I loved Halle Berry.
Y'all have
I love
never
Halle
heard me
Berry's
say the movie
swordfish,
was
man.
fantastic. I've always said Halle Berry was the sexy ass Catwoman. Is that
Halle
right?
Berry was sexy in Swordfish.
That's all I said.
Yes, I think she was sexier in Swordfish. Absolutely.
Well, she's sexy in Bond too.
What's the one with Robert?
Yes.
Bob Thornton.
Hey, listen, Halle Berry's just sexy.
Monsters Ball?
Monster Ball.
Yes.
Yeah, make me feel good. Yeah, I'll make me feel good.
It made you feel good to see her get rammed by Billy
You know?
I didn't.
That wasn't a glamorous role.
I didn't see him.
Rewind your words, man.
I didn't see Billy, but I saw Danny Graham. Like, oh, yeah. Make me feel good. That's what I saw.
You have a very vivid imagination.
Yes.
You saw yourself over him.
I feel you. When you put it that way, yeah, it's a great scene. Absolutely.
That's all me.
Call Mel Brooks. Oy vey.
Shit. So we almost reached the 1 hour, 30-minute mark, man. It was a great show. We're going to close it up for the night. You got polls?
I have some polls, yes.
Let's do the polls. Cool.
All right. So the first poll. The first poll tonight was... What do you think about the censorship on the Return of the Jedi? Good move? What the fuck? Nuts or crazy? Good move actually got 33%.
Wow.
What the fuck got 33%? So it's like yes or what the fuck? And then nuts and crazy got 16%. So I don't know. Anyways,
what the fuck did that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This
are you
has been bothering
excited for Andor? Are you excited for Andor? 55% said no.
Damn.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Then you got, are you surprised that the Batgirl movie is being canceled? 72% said no. Go figure.
Chat on fire
And
tonight, boy.
That was the last one.
Wow.
That's the last one I put up there. So
Cool. Yeah, because like we always thought it was a stupid idea, and then they did the movie and they hated the fucking movie. And it's like, okay, no, we can't show that. Fuck it. So
Look at Scooby Doo.
although you know what's
Look at
funny is
Scooby Doo, guys.
you know what this is? This is a defeatist attitude in Hollywood these days. And either they're out to defeat everything that people like, and then when something isn't there, like right now, this has been just trash. If that's how things were handled back in the 70s, we never would have gotten Star Wars. Because Star Wars, the first time anybody watched it, they hated it. They were worried that they just dropped all this money. And so there is something to be said for, why don't we actually then say, okay, these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. Let's see what we can salvage, and let's find people who actually know what the fuck they're doing. But there's kind of that side to this that just nowadays it's like, fuck this, done. Or,
You know what I think
or more to, I'm sorry, I was just going to say, or more to the point.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Go ahead, Mark. You were saying?
I was just going to say what I think is the problem also is that there's this idea that they think they can just appeal to everybody. You know what I mean? Like they just want to get the largest audience as possible. And I guess I understand that. But when you're talking about these particular properties, like Star Wars, it was never meant to be for everybody. Like you said before, there's a lot of people who just didn't get it. And they stayed not getting it for decades. It was only the few, the proud, the nerdy, who really coveted this thing. You know what I mean? We're the lifeblood of it. You know, I mean, all of us have known people who have mocked and laughed at Star Wars and Star Wars fans and everything. It's always been a very closed group. The same thing with Star Trek, you know, and comic book movies as well. You know, it's always been a joke to people who don't understand it. But I think what's frustrating them is they haven't been able to figure out a way to mass market this to the world. You know, and if we're the type of people who point out the breaks in continuity and canon, they hate that because they want to be able to just do what they want to do in order to get that larger audience. Never mind the core audience that knows certain things shouldn't be happening or this character shouldn't be in this place at this point in time. That's just a nuisance for them. So I think they're going to continue to be frustrated because they're going to keep chasing after people who are not going to spend money on this crap. They're not. You know, we're the ones who spend money on it. So, you know.
And you're right, because I dated a few girls and they'd be like, I like Star Wars. They'd be like, what? You watch that shit? Like, yes, I do. You got a problem with it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man.
I got a boy, man. I don't know how you watch that shit, Danny, and talk about it.
You know what I'm saying?
I said, motherfucker, bring your ass on here. You might learn something.
Facts. Facts.
Woo!
So, Mark, shout out your channel. Thank you for popping in. Much appreciated once again.
Yeah, sure.
Always great to have you on, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. You guys, it's the gospel according to Mark with a C or Mark with a C, you know, and what do I call it these days? It's Mark with a C, that's it. And you just come by and I just talk about, you know, pop culture, social issues. It's all about inviting conversation, you know, so I like doing that, you know, no bells and whistles and, you know, elaborate sets and stuff. I just do what I do. And yeah, I definitely appreciate, you know, all of you. So come give me a look-see.
Absolutely. The description is in the channel in the box there. So if you guys aren't sub, which I'm pretty sure you already are anyways, so sub to him if you're not. Eli who? What's up, boy? Talk to the people.
Hey, Mike, I think I got secondhand slugs going to you because if you look to your left, you actually see your name. So, hey.
The thing is, it used to be the gospel according to Mark with a C, which I still am, but I just had to change it because people will come in there looking for religious advice. And then they get that when I curse them out. You're some Christian you are.
You said it earlier when you were like, you know, I'm going to say this, but don't think this means this. It's like, yeah, folks, just, you know, why do you take this seriously? You come to my channel and you see like gospel, like I have the gospel according to Chris, and I'm like, I totally play it up. And the thing is if I ever get bitched at for it, I'm gonna look at people and go like, you know what? God had a sense of humor too. I mean, come on. It's like, look at people. Just look at people. Look at the human race. He has a sense of humor.
Amen.
And I'll just say this real quick before Eli goes. No. There's 3 other movies, Deej. The prequels are still a part of that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're still a part of that.
I
Go
agree.
ahead, Eli.
Well, I'm Eli who. Well, let's see. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah. I have a science show on YouTube where I talk about basic astronomy, the complex astrophysics, black holes, nebulars, even the tour of the solar system. I'm supposed to have a live show tomorrow at 12 noon because I got my system fixed, but I had problems with my little program that I used to run my show with. So I'm gonna try to work on that after this show's over here. So if I do have a live show tomorrow, it'll be 12 noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Otherwise, I'll just upload it on Thursday. Hopefully, I get that thing running. And Wednesday night, tomorrow night, I will be on Honourable Mentions, PJ's channel, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be talking all Orville. And there is a very special guest. Hopefully, he will be confirmed for tomorrow night, but he has confirmed to be on the channel, science fiction legend. I hopefully still haven't got my text confirmation so I can say his name. But
Bill Nye, the science guy?
No, science. Okay, I did say science fiction, but still, no, not Bill Nye.
Okay. What's the black guy's name? Oh man, I watch him.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's what you have it on. Chris Knight, go ahead.
Yeah, Real Review 3000. I'm working on getting the Rumble back. We're gonna call it. This season's gonna be Revenge of the Rumble. Last year it was the Rumble, New Rules, or something like that. I don't forget what my tagline was last year. This year it's the Revenge of the Rumble. And that's just because I got to get some people against the guy on the far side there. Nzo being the first grand champion.
Hold on, best.
You don't know that yet because you're only the second. You're the first one. There's 2.
I would have won if I had a shitty connection. Okay.
And right now I'm the best out of the 2, so it's all good.
And anyways, we're gonna get back to that. I have a couple now, probably 1 or 2 rants coming up. And we're gonna try to get back on that. I think before long we're gonna be back on the Masked Singer, which that's a whole nother world of have to get done. And then probably some video game streams coming up. I just got to get this stuff like laid out and planned out, that way it can happen. So that's what we're working on. So and then tomorrow night, the rule of 3. We have 2 topics, I think, now. I just came up with another one. I think there's 2 topics here that are going to be nice conversation, like really good conversations in it. And then we got 5 final 5s, of course, that it's interesting. And I don't know yet if we have any answered. I don't think we have any answered this week, so it's going to be straight to the final 5, and we'll talk about it. But check that out tomorrow. Final 5, Fact or Fiction. Remember, you got to stay to the end of the show, and that's when a lot of fireworks can start. So. We'll see you tomorrow night here at 9 p.m. Eastern.
I just point out too.
That is just a rumor. Just a rumor.
The show was canceled a while back and never announced. Well, I just want to say too, because I see you, Full Metal, and yes, Dark Council is tomorrow. I just want to point that out as well. The Dark Council is every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the Drunk 3PO's Basement channel. Okay, so tomorrow it will be hosted by Damajanai. We like to cut up, have a good time, nice party. Abu Nas, he comes with the rhymes and talk about all the hottest topics of the day. So Dark Council tomorrow, absolutely.
Yep, and I asked Abu Nas to come on, and he was like, nah, he can't do it because he got to get ready for the Dark Council tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, so you getting them rhymes ready, eh? That's what you doing, boy. Okay, all right, I see you. I ain't mad at it.
That man produces an EP every week.
Yeah,
always
pretty much.
Yeah,
and I think he put like a screenshot of his the computer he's using, and I was like, oh, he puts everything together. All right, I get you. Good job, man. Respect for that. Danny.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, go ahead.
Really quick, I was gonna say, Mark, I'm gonna put you in a message on Twitter about the Rumble if you want to be a part of it. I'll explain everything, but Cool. The other thing I was going to say, if you guys are watching this right now, if you want to be a part of the Rumble, you can message me on Twitter at ChrisKnight5150, and I will get you on there. I'm trying to get everybody lined out for the whole season so it's ready to go. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So, yeah, there you go.
Mads, go ahead and do it. Go right ahead. You still won't unseat me. And Deej, you gotta be a grand champion to get to me. So I'm just saying. Danny, go ahead.
Oh, he's in it too. I mean, I got him in this message too.
Yeah, he ain't a grand champion yet. So
I'm Danny.
I will win one of these days.
Maybe.
One at least.
Go ahead, Danny.
I'm Danny, aka Comic Chat. You can find me with these two guys to my left and right, Monday through Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all our shows. And football season is fastly approaching us, so we're going to be doing some Square One on Saturdays. We're usually around about 4:30. And tomorrow night, after this show, Nzo show OOC. Oh my God, I can only imagine what that's going to be. And then about 2 weeks, we're doing the She-Hulk. That's on my show, right?
Yeah, and I have the final intro for it. Yeah, he's doing She-Hulk. We're doing a round table.
If you want to come,
ambitious of you there, buddy.
She's gonna rip him up too.
Yeah.
We'll send you a link if you want to come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I usually do 2 shows on that. I can't take all them 10 and 12 people on one show.
Bye, Anzo.
But yeah, thanks for the invite tonight, Anzo. Appreciate it. And look forward to tomorrow night on Chris Show.
No problem. Just real quick as I recall. All right, and my mic because I know that one came out too.
Keep your cat away from the birds.
No, it wasn't the cat this time. It was me. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that came in here on the panel to come and chill out with me all the time. Everybody in the chat, Eyes Only, Mama Bear, Full Metal, Shifty Gizm, and everybody I mentioned at the beginning, Deej, LB. Thank you guys for all popping in. Much appreciated. We're going to do this again some other time. Tomorrow night, like Chris said, will be the Rule of 3, then the OOC. I have no idea what the topic is going to be tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure I'll wake up and there'll be some cop shit that I can talk about.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Search San Francisco. Search Oakland. There's recently a gang shooting yesterday or this morning. Today at a football game.
We're probably gonna keep it light. We're gonna talk about the Will Smith apology and stuff like that. We're gonna keep it a little bit light tomorrow, man, because it's been a little bit heavy for a while. So we're just gonna have some fun. But with that being said, guys, we are closing it up. Peace, love, and hair grease. See you on the next one. Peace.
Later, weirdos.
Inevitable. All right, the Khaos List. Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right, Nzo, here we go. Take N and Z, then throw in a O. Nzo's the name, and this is the show. It don't matter what the haters say, cause everybody knows at the end of the day, the Khaos List comes on Tuesday nights, describe it in word, dynamite. He brings fire to all the masses. He rocks a hoodie, a snapback, and a pair of glasses. Khaos List is the second show of the week. Questions so fire that they make you speak about issues that are universal. We talk about shit that's controversial. Sit back, chill, enjoy the show. His crew is ready. And here's Nzo. Peace. Woo! Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Khaos List. Do not miss this. I'm going to say that one more time. Do not miss this. Peace. Is there any stuff?
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.